I went to the shops today and decided to call into my local national tile store. And of course, that's what we do when we do mosaics. We call into stores to see if there's something really important that we really want. We may never use, but it's always good to have it just in case we decide to use it. So anyway, I called in there and I came across some of these coloured wall tiles. Now this is from their Atelier coloured wall tile range. And there's 48 distinctive colours spanning the full chromatic spectrum. And the brochure says that they use a special glaze that accentuates the delicate movement of light. Now they're suitable for commercial and residential projects, and they are 100 by 100 millimetres and around about the 9-10 millimetre thickness. That's the back of them there. And they're a pressed edge tile. So what I thought I would do is I would give them a try out. And I thought I'd score some and break them and see how they work with the double-wheeled nippers as well. So anyway, I'm going to clear this area and we'll come back and we'll start working on them. Well, I'm quite anxious to see how these actually score and break, because I'm hoping they're going to be reasonably hard, but not too hard where they're going to be too difficult to actually score and break them, and of course to shape them into the shape that we want. So what I'm going to do is now get my glass scorer and just see how these go at scoring and breaking. I'm really wanting to see if there's any chipping from the glazing or anything like that. Nope, that's pretty good. It's a nice sharp edge there. These score and breakers you can pick up from Bunnings. These are at Bunnings stores and tile stores. Because I get quite a few people asking, what tool is this and where do I get it from? So if you're in Australia, you can buy them from Bunnings and tile stores. If you're from overseas, you can probably get them from Amazon. I have seen them on Amazon, so they shouldn't be too difficult for you to get. Okay, well I'm quite happy with that score line. There's no chipping of the glaze at all. So now what we'll do is we'll do another one. It's all pretty good. It's got a little bit of oil on from my scorer. And what I'm going to do now is do a circle and see how it works. My circles are not that great. I'm sure those that have watched my previous videos, when I'm drawing, I can't draw for peanuts. Now, I'm expecting the lepinets not to work as well because of the opening of the jaw here. But I'm going to just have a look. It does go in there. It opens the handles right up, so whether that's going to be easy for you, but they do work with them. There's no two ways about that. I find that reasonably comfortable. I've got reasonably sized hands, so I don't really have an issue with using these, but you do have to open them right up. Now, we'll have a look at using my Montelip nippers now. And when I'm using tools, it may look funny to you because I'm actually left-handed. So if things look a little bit peculiar to you, that's the reason. These work extremely well. And I have to also say that these tiles, certainly on this one that I've scored and broken, I think that these tiles are slightly softer than the Spectrum ones, which makes them easier to actually shape, which I'm really quite pleased about because, like I said earlier, I was hoping that these tiles would be reasonably hard because you don't want them too soft. If they're too soft, they're going to be absolutely useless for outside. And of course, whenever you're using tiles, you need to take into consideration the environment that they're going to end up in. Because obviously, if you're in a freeze-thaw area and they absorb moisture, well, that's just the droplets will expand around 8% and it will cause fracturing of the tile. So you've got to keep that in mind whenever you're using these type of things. You've got to make sure that they're suitable for the environment it's going into. But that's not an issue. You can spend more time on that if you want to trim that up. Like that. It seems this is just a demonstration, not worrying about it too much. Now let's just do a shape of a petal. And we'll see how we go. I think we'll try the compound nippers. And these work quite well too. Again, compound nippers I really like using, but if you have small hands, then these can be an issue because these open right up so as you have a large jaw area there. Whereas the Montolits can open that much and even wider, but of course the handles are closer together. So you just need to keep that in mind. But that works really well. I wonder whether we can actually score that area down here. And then see how this works with the breaker. Yeah, that works really well. Nice edge there. So, in my opinion, I think these are really pretty good tiles. Certainly for the ones I've actually trimmed here anyway. Now these colours on these tiles are produced with a special glaze additive to achieve the particular depth of colour. So, and they also, on some tiles, they may have like a crackle-like glaze that present as very small lines, visible lines, but in no way is the performance of the tile affected regarding water absorption or anything like that. It is considered to be an effect within the tile. And these tiles are made in Portugal. So to be honest, I think it's worth looking at. I think these are a great alternative to the Spectrum range and the Johnson range. But bear in mind that these are a little bit thicker than the Johnson tiles. But if that's not going to be an issue for you, and I know that we're so limited here in Australia in coloured tiles, then I think these are definitely going to be worth considering. So now what I'm going to do is just show you the brochure that they have online, and that will give you a better idea of the colours that are available. Now I'm just on the National Tiles website and I've opened up their online brochure for their Urban Atelier wall tile range. Now I know there's probably different ways of actually pronouncing the word Atelier, but that's just the one that I've gone with. So let's just go with that for the time being, but I'm sure there are other ways that you could pronounce that name. So going into the first page of the brochure, as you can see, they've got 48 colours in the range, and in this brochure they actually split up the colours into categories, and that's to make it easier for people to decide on the colour of their choice. For instance, this one here is rich, red and romantic, and there's some beautiful colours there. And of course, if we turn the page, this is the sea and sky range, and they've got some beautiful blues and turquoise colours there. The next page has plants and pollens and some beautiful earthy colours there. And along with their autumn neutral range is some very earthy colours there as well. And of course, like Australia, we're about to go into autumn. Now, this is their, turning the page, this is their 48 colours that they have, and they're glossy tiles. And there's some really beautiful colours there. And what I really like about them is that they just don't have one or two greens. They've got different coloured greens, and the same with the turquoise and the blues. And I think that's really important so you can get a great deal of depth in your mosaics. Perhaps you're looking at using these colours, or maybe you're using a different brand of coloured tile. Put them down in the bottom of the comment section on the YouTube channel, because I'd be interested in having a look, and I'm sure many others will too. And I'll also put the website of this particular range in the information box of this video as well. So anyway, I hope you've taken something away from this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it helps you in choosing your next lot of coloured tiles, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.